Good evening, everybody. Here we are again. Another exciting episode from Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel live stream. And we have an Elvis giveaway, or details of an Elvis giveaway tonight. Plus, we have Fan of the Month quiz, This Day in Elvis History, Elvis Photo and Song of the Week, the poll results as well for Viva Las Vegas, and anything else that we want to throw into the mix. If anybody wants to ring me, they can. They can ring me free on Facebook Messenger and Instagram. So, yeah, as you can see, it's just after 11:30 a.m. On the West Coast. It was too cold and snowy in Memphis that I decided I need a little bit of warmth. And I have got it, because it's about 71, I think, Fahrenheit in Palm Springs. So, there you go. What do you think? Wouldn't you do that as well? Hi, Angel Baby, Duncan, Marie's the name, Maxine, wonderful Maxine, or should I say magnificent Maxine, and Dynamic Dave are my moderators. Let's, Jeff says, hello, Mr. Steve and Elvis friends. Well, hello to you, Jeff, as well. What have we got? There's Jill, Mark. All the usual suspects joining. It was snowy in Chicago. Yeah. 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 Arkansas Dave. Hi, Dave. Dynamic Dave says, is Dan O'Malley in here? I haven't seen his name yet, but if he's watching this on playback, Dan probably knows that his prize for Fan of the Month quiz is just a little distance away. The last time I tracked it, it was in England. So, Dan, you will be getting that prize, I would imagine, probably tomorrow or Tuesday. And Dan is going to let me know when he gets that. It was kindly donated by Dave, a lovely book. And I think Dave put an Easter egg in there as well, something a little bit extra. Elvis is one of the greatest entertainers in the world, I think he means. But you're right, Larry, he is. Hi, Helen. Sorry to hear about Maxine's injury that she's picked up because of the exercising and the running and so forth. And Earl says, do you have a cold shower pick for the ladies, Steve? Oh, yes, I do. And actually, I've got to tell you that Earl actually supplied it. Thanks, Earl. So that'll be coming up later on. Let's just recap again. We're going to have the Fan of the Month quiz shortly. We're going to have news of a big Elvis giveaway. I'll let you know how you can win that. This Day in Elvis History, Elvis Photo and Song of the Week, and of course the poll results. So let's look. Maxine says she's broke for a while. That's not great news. You know, all this exercise isn't very good for you, Maxine. Right, so we are up to Elvis's 15th movie. And I suppose what I should do is, while we're talking about this, I should really be showing you some photographs, pictures from this movie. So, it's Elvis's 15th movie. Excuse me. Viva Las Vegas is a 1964 American musical film directed by George Sidney and starring Elvis Presley and Anne Margaret. The film is regarded by fans and film critics as one of Elvis's best films, and it is noted for the on-screen chemistry between him and Anne Margaret. It also presents a strong set of 10 musical song and dance scenes. Viva Las Vegas was a hit. It was number 14 on the Variety year-end box office list of top-grossing films, movies of 1964. And apart from anything else, look how fantastic he looked. Okay, so we've got Elvis Presley as Lucky Jackson, Anne Margaret as Rusty Martin, Cesare Danova as Count Elmo Mancini, William Damarest as Mr. Martin, Rusty's father, Nikki Blair as Shorty Farnsworth, who was like Elvis's sidekick, Terry Garr as a showgirl, and Red West as son of Lone Star State. That's when Elvis sings the Yellow Rose of Texas, so look out for Red next time you're watching it. Lucky Jackson, Elvis, goes to Las Vegas, Nevada to participate in the city's first annual Grand Prix race. However, his race car, an Elva Maserati, is in need of a new engine in order to compete in the event. Lucky raises the necessary money in Las Vegas, but he loses it when he is shoved into the pool by the hotel's young swimming instructor, Rusty Martin, and Margaret. That's the scene where he sings The Lady Loves Me, and then they go up the steps onto the diving board. Then she pushes him into the pool. Lucky then has to work as a waiter at the hotel to replace the lost money to pay his hotel bill, as well as enter the hotel's talent contest in hopes of winning a cash prize sizable enough to pay for his car's engine. During all this time, Lucky attempts to win the affections of Rusty. His main competition arrives in the form of Count Elmo Mancini and his Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta. Mancini attempts to win both the Grand Prix and the affections of Rusty. Rusty soon falls in love with Lucky, of course she does, and immediately tries to change him into what she wants. The movie ends with Elvis winning the day and the affections of Rusty, and the final scene shows their wedding. Production. Viva Las Vegas was filmed during the summer of 1963, before production of Kissing Cousins, but was released after Kissing Cousins in the summer of 1964. In Great Britain, both the film and the soundtrack were sold as Love in Las Vegas, since there was another different film called Viva Las Vegas that was being shown in British cinemas at the same time that Elvis's was released. The chemistry between the two stars was genuine during filming. Elvis and Ann-Margaret began an affair, and this received considerable attention from film and music gossip columnists. This reportedly led to a showdown with worried girlfriend Priscilla. In her 1985 book, Elvis and Me, Priscilla describes the difficulties that she experienced when the gossip columnist erroneously announced that Ann-Margaret and Elvis had become engaged to be married. Okay. In her memoirs, Ann-Margaret refers to Elvis as her soulmate. In addition, the filming of Viva Las Vegas reportedly produced unusually heated exchanges between the film director, George Sidney, and Elvis's manager, Tom Parker. The arguments reportedly concerned the amount of time and effort allotted by the cinematographer Joseph Burrock to the song and dance numbers that featured Ann-Margaret on the orders of the director. These scenes include views of Ann-Margaret's dancing taken from many different camera angles, the use of multiple camera angles for each scene, and several retakes of each of her song and dance scenes. David Winters from the original cast of West Side Story was the film's choreographer, and was recommended by Ann-Margaret for the job. This was Winters' first job as a choreographer on a feature film, and Ann-Margaret was his dance student at the time. Because the film went over budget, Parker would slash budgets for all remaining films in Elvis's career. So the next film, which was Kissing Cousins, the budget was completely and utterly slashed. I think they filmed it in something like 18 or 19 days. The reception. The film grossed $9.5 million at the box office, earning $5 million in the US in theatrical rentals alone. Released during Beatlemania and the beginning of the British invasion, North American box office receipts of $9.5 million, as I just said, were markedly higher than the Beatles' first motion picture, A Hard Day's Night, which was released 2 months later worldwide and earning $1.6 million. So there was a huge difference. As for his role in Viva Las Vegas, Elvis received a third-place prize 1965 Laurel Award for Best Male Performance in a Musical Film. The movie also received a 1965 Laurel Award for runner-up in the category of the Best Musical of 1964. Ann-Margaret was praised for her on-screen chemistry with Elvis, as she nearly stole the film from him. Well, you can decide that yourself. Some critics in 1964 were lukewarm about the film, such as one from the New York Times who wrote, "Viva Las Vegas, the new Elvis Presley vehicle, is about as pleasant and unimportant as a banana split." Okay. Critical reaction notwithstanding, Viva Las Vegas has become one of Elvis Presley's most popular and iconic films. On home media, the DVD release contains the movie in two formats on a flipper disc. This was on August the 1st, 2000. One side contains the movie in the ratio, just the ordinary 4:3, and then the other side in a widescreen sort of letterbox. Then there was the deluxe edition on the August the 7th, 2007. The film is the only... Now, the film is the first and only two Elvis movies, the other being Jailhouse Rock, to be officially released onto every home media format distributed in the US, which is like Betamax, VHS, Laserdisc, DVD, HD, Blu-ray disc. Now, let's also go on and say that RCA, the EP, it wasn't a full-length LP. RCA had not released a Elvis Presley EP single for 2 years, given it was a dying format, and given the disappointing chart performance of Viva Las Vegas, the company would only issue 2 more for the remainder of Elvis's career. The recording sessions took place on July 9th, 10th and 11th, 1963 at Radio Recorders. By then, film and soundtrack obligations were starting to back up on each other, and 6 weeks after the aborted Lost Album sessions in May 1963, the stable of Elvis songwriters was required to come up with another dozen songs for yet another new Elvis picture, Viva Las Vegas. Song quality took a back seat to the need of quantity, and the filming schedules made it difficult for song publishers to live up to obligations. Memphis Mafia pal Red West had written a Ray Charles-styled number. That's If I Think I Don't Need You, If You Think I Don't Need You. And also an extra session was scheduled on August the 30th for an actual Ray Charles song to be recorded, What I Say. 15 songs were recorded, for which 11 were used in the film. For debated reasons, the idea of a full-length soundtrack long-playing album was not considered. Instead, to coincide with the film's release, RCA chose 4 songs for a Viva Las Vegas EP. In addition to the title song, along with What I Say, they were released as a single. Okay, what else can we say? Reissues. In 1993, Viva Las Vegas was released as a part of an RCA double features. This edition had 12 songs and 11 of the Roustabout soundtrack. And okay, that's about it, I think. Also, the sequence where Elvis is singing in the talent show and he's singing the title song, Viva Las Vegas, it's shot in one take. There's no cutaways or anything like that. And it's the only time in Elvis's film career that was done. So next time you watch Viva Las Vegas and you see that sequence, just watch. It's one take only. So the track listing was If You Think I Don't Need You, I Need Somebody to Lean On, Come On Everybody, Today, Tomorrow, and Forever. So the poll, before we go on to the Fan of the Month quiz, I'm going to read out some of your comments, and then I'm going to show you the poll to see which one out of this. The poll was Viva Las Vegas, You're the Boss with Anne Margaret, The Lady Loves Me with Anne Margaret, I Need Somebody to Lean On, What I Say, and Come On Everybody. Those are the 5 I wanted you to choose from. Mrs. EAP Elaine says, love most of the songs in this feel-good movie. Steve, I voted for The Lady Loves Me. We didn't know the underlying meaning of the song. Elvis looks gorgeous as ever. Great chemistry, great movie. Watched again recently. Take care. Yeah, I watched it as well recently at Christmas on the BBC. The British Broadcasting Corporation. Banjo Paul, I remember a few years back Elaine Page on Sunday playing Come On Everybody versus a Beatles track. And whilst I love the Beatles, this one pipped them to the post. The chemistry on screen with Anne Margaret shines through, and boy, it packs a punch. A great one to dance to at Elvis events too. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Banjo Paul. David Ewing says, If You Think I Don't Need You, that's what he's picked. Hadiai 45, my choice is Come On Everybody because of the sexy moves of Elvis and Iron Margaret. Second, I Need Somebody to Lean On. I must confess I watched the movie for the first time on Elvis's birthday this year on the BBC. Yes, that's when I watched it as well. Annette Hughes just has to be Viva Las Vegas. Angel Baby, hi Angel Baby, hope you're keeping well. There is so many good songs in that movie, it's hard to choose. I love them all. You coward, you should have picked one. Jeanette, I Need Somebody to Lean On is my top pick. Simply beautiful and heartfelt. Viva Las Vegas is cool and sexy. I'll throw The Climb in there too. Even though Elvis isn't singing, I love the groove and I love the dance between him and Aunt Margaret. It's hot. Marcos Turchi says Viva Las Vegas is fundamental, but I think What I Say scene is fantastic. Perfect. Just My Two Bit says Viva Las Vegas would be my favorite, and Karen Barlow says Come On Everybody is my favorite song. Okay, let's have a look, see who we got here. Hi, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel? Hi. That's unfortunate. I was looking forward to that. Right, yeah, so we finished up with Karen Barlow saying, Come On Everybody is my favourite today anyway. Yeah, I know how you feel. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hello, Steve, it's Mark.
Hey, hi Mark, you're not driving this week?
No, not driving, no. Safe to say.
Great. How are you keeping?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Yeah, all good.
Right, you're going to talk to me about one of probably Elvis's most successful movies, Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah, a very good film, yeah. I know when I talked to you on Wednesday and I said like it was because it was probably the start of the downturn.
Yeah, well, that's when they started cutting the budgets.
Yeah. But then obviously when this film came afterwards, and this one and probably Roustabout I really love. Both great films. I think the soundtracks are great as well. The chemistry between Elvis and Anne, it shines, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Probably the most the person he acted with the most who shone Elvis out as well. They both bounced off each other, didn't they?
She was like a female Elvis Presley.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. And I think it's probably the best film as well for dance scenes, isn't it? Really?
Yes, and production numbers, because you've got the What I Say one, you've got the ones where he does Viva Las Vegas and she does Appreciation. You've got the Come On Everybody. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. It's got the best production numbers as well. Yeah.
So I remember FD the Follow That Dream, because they released the Viva Las Vegas and they had a few outtakes on that.
Yeah,
I think that came out a few years back. I've got that, and that's good. There's one song in the film that I wish that he had put into the film, but they didn't. It was Do the Vega. I really like that.
Yeah. It's a great song actually, but I suppose they couldn't put them all in. Nearly every song, nearly every soundtrack session he didn't include all the songs. I mean, even Blue Hawaii, they dropped Stepping Out of Line, didn't they?
Yeah, of course.
You could see where Stepping Out of Line was supposed to go in, but
you could. Yeah, it's a shame that they didn't release a full album track of that film. Really.
Yeah.
Obviously it was just a 4-track EP, but it was a great film. I wish I always had probably done a few more like that come the mid-60s, but then it came to be more beach-wise, and didn't it? Like Girl Happy and Paradise and Wild Style. And it got to 65, 66, 67. I think that was the downturn of the film.
Yes.
And then I think it come back up. The later films I enjoy as well. The last 4 or 5 he did were different from the ones he did earlier on. So
yes, that's right.
A little bit more of a challenge, but but you can't knock Viva Las Vegas. It's always on the telly. It's always on Sky. It's just one of them films that'll always be played, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's puzzling actually that the success of Viva Las Vegas. I mean, I said there 9.5 million. That was quite a good
yeah,
return. It was number
yeah,
14 in the in the films for 1964. You'd have thought that the Parker would have then realized, well, maybe we should put him in a film every year with a major star
yeah,
like Anne.
yeah,
And,
yeah,
let him play off let them play off each
yeah.
other.
Yeah, that's it. I think that would have worked. I agree on that as well. It's a shame that didn't happen. And again, you can see, like, in '76 when Star is born, he didn't want him to be second best to Streisand, did he?
Yeah.
But it's a shame.
Mm,
But Elvis would have been the star anyway. It doesn't matter who would have been
exactly.
in the film.
Yeah.
It's a shame. But yeah, but it was a great film, a great soundtrack, and I love all the songs. My top two, I probably would say, Viva Las Vegas, and a close second will be Come On Everybody.
Mm.
They're both great tracks, and they're great to dance to as well.
You might be surprised at my choice of song of the week then later on.
Right, okay.
All right, stay tuned. Okay.
Okay, see you soon.
Cheers, bye.
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 Yeah, it's it's a difficult one. I had something to say there, and I've forgotten. It'll come to me, but that's what I was going to say. I imagine that when people went to see Elvis movies. Oh, hang on a second. Let's take this call first. That's Magnificent Maxine.
Hello, Super Steve.
I hope you've got your feet up, because you've hurt yourself, haven't you?
I have. I was running about a week ago, and my knee started playing up, so I've had to put a good old brace on it.
Have you seen the doctor?
Not yet. Not until Tuesday.
Oh, right. Yeah, he'll probably say rest and relaxation and put your foot up for a while.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you think of Viva Las Vegas?
Oh, it's a brilliant film. It's funny.
Did you watch it on his birthday?
I did.
Yeah.
I recorded it as well.
Yeah, of course. Why not? Of course you would. You can watch it anytime you want then.
Exactly.
What I was going to say was, right, this is what I imagine in the 60s, when people went to see Elvis movies, especially if it was a date, okay, the guy would take his girl because she wanted to see Elvis, and the guy would just sort of, he would just sort of play along and just kind of enjoy it and look at the girls in the bikinis and things like that. However, I can imagine when they went to see Viva Las Vegas that it was the best of both worlds. The ladies got to see Elvis and the men got to see Anne.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So this is what the idea should have been. They should have carried on and had a glamorous, but I mean, they did have some, didn't they? I mean, of course they had like Shelley Fabares and Nancy Sinatra and all these. So there was always a little bit of eye candy for the men.
Oh, there was, yeah, most definitely.
And then of course there was Anne Helm as well, another nice looking lady.
Oh yes, she was beautiful.
So I mean, what's your favorite part of the film?
Oh, the whole thing. I love the whole film, but I think it's where where he's under the car and then he slides out and he's like, "Look at that." Obviously meaning her booty.
Yeah.
But
well, I meant to say this as well, and I'm glad you've brought it up. There is quite a lot of attention paid to that part of Anne's anatomy. You've got the scene where him and the Count are underneath the car when she's introduced, when you first see Anne, and she walks away from the camera, and the camera is on her backside. And also she shakes it around quite a bit during Come On Everybody when the camera is behind her. And then again for the third time during What I Say.
Oh, yes.
Now, I mean, let's face it, it is so obvious that they are doing it. I mean, it's not by accident. And I'm sure Anne knew they were doing it as well, and they were playing up to it. And why wouldn't they?
Exactly.
So you've got the ladies going gaga over Elvis, and you've got the men going gaga over a part of Anne's anatomy.
Exactly. It's like a 2-in-1, isn't it?
But it is a fun film. I mean, I'm sure the PC Brigade now would say that that's terrible, exploiting Anne like that and showing that part of her body and everything like that. But of course, It's not. It's just fun. Let's just take it for what it is, a 1960 fun movie.
Exactly. Films are worse off today than what they were then.
Yeah.
I can say that now because, yeah.
Yeah, just because the camera focused on Anne's behind. I mean, let's face it, we all have one anyway. What difference does it make?
Exactly.
And I will continue to watch those scenes on slow motion.
Steve.
I know. Sorry. Okay, right. I hope your leg gets better anyway.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Alrighty.
All right then.
Talk to you later.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, I mean, they exploited Anne's shapely figure, and why wouldn't they? That's what it was all about. I mean, it's not the only movie that sort of focuses on parts of young ladies' anatomies and things like that. There was always plenty of scantily clad ladies in Elvis's movies, and that's the way they were in the 60s. Why not? It was tastefully done. I don't think there was anything, in bad taste. Yeah. Right. So here we go. I was going to show you the Viva Las Vegas poll. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of mention of "Come On Everybody" and things like that. "I Need Somebody to Lean On" is another great sequence. Where he's sort of, it's like a dreamy sort of sequence where he's just walking around and then he joins in and sort of sings harmony with his own thoughts. It's a good sequence. So what won? What was voted top? 43%, "Come On Everybody." Great sequence. Him and Anne dancing together. I'll just get rid of that clock for a second because it's blocking it. "You're the Boss," which wasn't actually in the picture. It was recorded for the picture, but it was dropped. Only got 4%. "The Lady Loves Me" came second at 26%. "I Need Somebody to Lean On," 14%. "What I Say," 13%. So it's so close between "What I Say" and "I Need Somebody to Lean On" anyway. And I will tell you what my favorite song is from Viva Las Vegas later. Near the end of the show. The big show. And also, I'll be showing you what you can win in the next Big Elvis prize giveaway. This isn't anything to do with the Fan of the Month quiz. This is just a stand-alone giveaway. I will actually show it you on screen. And I was looking at it earlier on when I was testing, holding it up and so forth. And the screen does not do this justice. Okay. It does not do this prize justice. It's a great prize. And I'll be letting you know, I'll be showing you it. And then probably next week when I've decided how we're going to go through it and how somebody can win it, I'll tell you how you can do it, how you can win it. Now, Fan of the Month quiz. If you're ready, Dave, and you're ready, Maxine, because Dave and Maxine always just confirm who got the first correct answer. Although before we do that, we'll speak to somebody else. Hello, Jeanette. How are you? Now, Fan of the Month is... Oh, dear. That's not too good. I'll wait for Jeanette to ring me back, I think. I think what she had, unfortunately, she had inadvertently left her speakers on. I'll see if Jeanette wants to ring back. Fan of the Month quiz... January the 16th, yes, 3 of 5. So there's 5 Sundays in January. Maybe Jeanette isn't going to ring back. So if Dave, I'm ready, Super Steve, and ready, set, go, says Dynamic Dave. Okay. Now this, here's Jeanette. Hello, Jeanette. How are you? Can you hear me?
What am I, a rookie? Hey.
Are you doing okay, yeah?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm fine. Hi, everybody.
You're fine. So
how are you?
I'm doing fine. What would you like to say?
I don't know. I think you and I have touched on this subject before because it's such a fun subject, but I really love this movie and I love a lot of the music. I love the soundtrack. I think it's really good.
That's definitely one of his best. I'm going to hold my hand up and say, yeah, definitely, it's one of his best.
I think so too. It's entertaining all the way around. I mean, the storyline, is an Academy Award winning material,
No.
but it's enjoyable. Not every screenplay has to be something so serious. You know what I mean? This is a good story. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't need to be, sort of War and Peace or anything like that, or, something really deep. I mean, this was in the 60s, I'm sure teenagers, and they would go on a date to an Elvis Presley movie. And as I said earlier on, it was the best of both worlds. The ladies got to see Elvis and the men got to see Anne Margaret.
Agreed. Something for everybody.
And I think we've got to give Anne credit that it is one of Elvis's better movies because of her as well.
But one could argue that she got too much screen time and maybe outshone him. It depends who you ask.
Yeah, I don't think no. It was close, but I don't think she outshone Elvis. No, it'd be very, very difficult to outshine Elvis.
Well, Colonel probably thought differently.
Yeah.
I'm sure Colonel wasn't happy about all her screen time, especially that long, that sequence where she did all that choreography and the singing. That was probably a little bit much for him.
The appreciation. Yeah, but I mean, it wouldn't have been fair to give. I mean, it was a talent contest. It wouldn't have been fair to give Elvis the Viva Las Vegas and then her nothing.
That's true. It made sense for the storyline, but I thought I read in the Memphis Mafia book that the Colonel just went bonkers when he was watching unedited film footage, and the director had the cameraman film 4 minutes straight of just Anne Margaret's backside, like close-ups of just her butt moving around.
Yeah.
And he just went bonkers. Says, I'm not having this. So that director, I don't know. I mean, we know from what we've read that he had a thing for Anne Margaret too.
Yeah.
But then again, who didn't?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, she's one classy. She's one classy lady. I've actually put feelers out to try and get Anne on the show, but it hasn't come to fruition, unfortunately.
Well, don't give up on that. That would be
I'll
fantastic.
keep going. I'll keep going.
Yeah, and I would imagine you'd do a 2 or 3-parter on that.
Yes,
right?
I certainly would.
You better. I mean, and then another thing, as far as the music goes, I love the soundtrack, but I Need Somebody, was my pick. It's just that particular scene of seeing him so vulnerable, and he looks so sad and so heartbroken, and you can see in that scene how much he loves that, the character, of course, but come on, he had such you can already tell that he was falling for her, but just that whole scene where he looks at couples that are dancing and embracing, and here he is all alone, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, somebody go up to the man and just hug him.
Yeah.
It just breaks your heart.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like I said, all kinds of cool and sexy. And then I'm throwing in The Climb, like I said.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. I love the beat. And the dance between the two of them is smoking. I love it.
It was one of the last times where they actually put thought and time and effort into the production numbers, I think, wasn't it?
You think?
I think so, because after that, it was sort of jump up on the stage, sing the song, and then jump back down again.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he tends to do that in his movies.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's fine with me. Elvis up on stage singing's grand, but I think that was really the last time they put any real big effort into production numbers.
You could be right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
Okay, Jeanette, thanks very much for ringing in. It's always a pleasure speaking to you. It really is.
Likewise. Okay. Everybody have a great week coming up, okay?
Okay.
Bye now.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Right. So thanks, Jeanette, for ringing in. Thanks, everybody else who's rung in as well. And Fan of the Month quiz. Now, this is a new format. And basically what it is I'm going to give you some letters. And it's the first letter of each word in a song title. So to give you an example, if I was to say HD, it wouldn't be high definition. It would be hound dog. Okay. So 6 questions, letters, the first letter of each word of the song title. And get set. Are you ready? The first one is D, D, F. What song is that? D, D, F. As I say, I've... whoever gets it right gets a... Okay. That's my new sound effect for the person that gets it right. D, D, F. Don't see anybody yet. Yeah, Dave says UHD. Yeah, nice one, Dave. I'm really hoping now that people get the the idea of this. Hi, Matt. How are you doing? What happened with the Wednesday shows? I will come up. I will recap on the Wednesday shows later on. I'll tell you about the Wednesday shows. Uh-oh. I hope I haven't made these too hard. D, D, F. Blank. Hey, no set, dirty, dirty feeling. Okay, just confirm that no set 45 is the first one, please, Dave and Maxine. But that's basically, that's how it works. D, D, F, dirty, dirty feeling. If I hadn't started seeing dirty, dirty feeling come through soon, I was going to start to give you clues. But I hadn't anticipated giving you clues. But there was a few puzzled faces there to start with. Ah, great. Oh, Jeanette was first. Okay. I've got no set. Oh, no, hang on, you're right. Jeanette is right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well done, Jeanette. Just speaking to Jeanette. I missed that. Okay. Right. This is quite interesting. The next one, number 2, is SKWT. Did I give Jeanette a... Yes, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, Jeanette was first. Way hey, Jeanette. Okay, SKWT. And while I'm waiting for the answers to come in, I'm going to have to think of a clue in case people don't get it. Yeah, Mark says, I have a dirty feeling it was a hard one. Wow, Brian Roberts, Summer Kisses, Winter Tears. Michael Johnson. Okay, anybody that said Summer Kisses, Winter Tears gets... And I'm just going to wait now until Dave and Maxine tell me who was first. Yeah, you're getting the hang of it now. Brian Roberts was first. Well done, Brian. I quite like this. Now, this next one, I think, is going to... Hopefully, it's going to trip quite a few people up. When I see the answers, it makes perfect sense. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Brian was first. Yeah. Summer Kisses. SKWT. Summer Kisses, Winter Tears. Right. Oh, yeah. What I was going to say was, it might help you if you actually write it down. I know Dave is typing it after me as well. Thanks, Dave. But it might help you if you actually write them down. So the next one is, I IWYWM. And I'll repeat that. IWYWM. Yeah, well done, Brian and Jeanette. I agree. Jeanette. Michael says I was before Brian. Okay. Michael Johnson. The moderators will check that later. I must admit, I had Brian, and Dave had Brian, and Maxine had Brian. So, IWYWM. By the way, if nobody gets it, there you go. Duncan Campbell, I want you with me. Well done. I thought that'd trip people up. Now, I just want everybody, I'll just wait until, I'm going to give Duncan a... A lot of people are getting it now. I thought that'd trip people up. I really did. I want you with me. That's not as difficult as I thought. Maxine says Duncan Campbell. Okay. Yeah, it says Brian was in first, just slightly before Mike. Okay, thanks, Dave. Duncan was first. Yeah, brilliant. Duncan was in. Brilliant. Right. Again, it might help if you write this down. IAMOT. IAMOT. Mark says, I like this quiz. Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it? It's now, what could that be? It's a bit like a crossword or something like that, isn't it? And at the end of the day, it's a bit of fun. IAMOT. Let's see who's going to be first. The live chat is way before again. I think you might have to refresh your screen, I think. Duncan Campbell, It's a Matter of Time. Well done, Duncan. Yeah, not a well-known song. I tried to pick some that aren't that well-known, just kind of test you. IDK, I don't know. I like that, Ronald. Michael Johnson, It's a Matter of Time. Yeah, Jill, It's a Matter of Time. Chris says, I honestly can't think and I'm writing them down. Hedier 45. Duncan Campbell, Duncan. Thanks very much. You're having a stormer this week, Duncan. Oh, I didn't give you a... Right, again, it might help. Write it down. IYDCB. IYDCB. And I think that this is making people just think a little bit. Just think a little bit. More better maybe than the blanks, where I leave a blank out of song lyrics. I might do this again. Just I know some people say, "Oh no." Yeah, It's a Matter of Time is a great song. Yeah. IYDCB. Pretty decent one, Duncan. Yeah, it was good to get that one, wasn't it? IYDCB. No set if you don't come back. Oh, Duncan was just after No Set. She just pipped you at the post there. Yeah, Banjo Paul, If You Don't Come Back, No Set Again. I'm pretty sure No Set got in there first. Banjo Paul says No Set. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Congratulations, No Set. It's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. Elvis forever if you don't come back. Ronald, I'm frying my brain. I know. Sometimes when you just look, it's okay for me. I have the answers. But sometimes when you just look and you see something like IAMOT, what's that? It's a matter of time. Yeah. Nancy says, this is really hard, Steve. I'm too old. Oh, sorry, Nancy. I won't do this every week. I promise I won't do this every week. No, this is a real easy one. This really is a real easy one. I think most people will get this. Again, write it down. It might help. TTGTY. That's T for Tommy, G for Jerry, T for Tommy, and Y for yellow. TTGTY. Yeah, if you don't come back. So TTGTY. Be interesting now to see who gets this. It's a real battle between Norset and Duncan today. TTGTY. Just watching the comments closely here now. Have I stumped people? Whoa, Norset trying to get to you. Bossa Nova Baby, Jimmy D. I do think it was Norset. Jeanette, well done. The girl next door went a walk-in. I like it, Don. I like it. Wow, look at all those trying to get to use. Norset and Norset. Well done. Well played. Well played, Duncan and Norset. That's a big to both of you. Don't forget, coming up in a few minutes, I'm going to be showing you on screen what you can win in the Elvis giveaway. Brian says, great quiz this. Oh, thank you very much. I wasn't sure how it would go down. I really didn't. Elvis history, and I've got some pictures as well for Elvis history. If I can just scroll down and find them. 1956, on the 16th of January 1956, Elvis performed at the Municipal Auditorium, Galveston, Texas. 1957, the soundtrack sessions for Loving You at Paramount went on from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. However, Elvis clearly was not working well on the giant soundstage and recording went very slowly. He recorded Got a Lot of Living to Do, Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear, and One Night of Sin. That was nothing to do with the Loving You. That was just something he recorded, which turned out to be One Night with You. 1958, I've got a picture. Elvis was recording songs at radio recorders for his new Paramount picture from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. He recorded Dixieland Rock, Lover Doll, Don't Ask Me Why, As Long As I Have You, Steadfast, Loyal and True, and As Long As I Have You, another version. 1959, this is a good one. Good photograph here as well. Elvis donated blood at the war-torn barracks in Friedberg for the German Red Cross. Now, here we go. 2 nurses and not 1 doctor. What do you think of that? 2 nurses and not 1 doctor. I wonder why. 1965, the soundtrack to the Elvis Presley film Roustabout hit number 12 in the UK. 1968, still in Nashville, the work was resumed at 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. Elvis started with the second movie song, Stay Away. This was the end of the soundtrack part of the sessions, and with no good material in sight, Elvis finally settled on the new Jerry Reed tune, U.S. Mail, which was suggested by guitarist Chip Young. In spite of the rule that Elvis was not allowed to pitch any songs he liked, there was no demurral from Freddie Beanstalk this time. With Reed's typical offbeat accompaniment, U.S. Mail was a fitting complement to Guitar Man and the only sensible choice for the next single. In 1969, We'll just leave that up there for a minute there with Elvis and the Nurses, will we? 1969, Elvis, of course, was in Chip Moman's studio, and he recorded Don't Cry Daddy. Well, actually, he didn't actually do any recording, and I'll tell you the reason why. They just did a track of Don't Cry Daddy, Poor Man's Gold, Inherit the Wind, and Mama Like the Roses, because Elvis had actually got a sore throat, and he went home on the 16th, and he didn't come back until the 19th of January. He never actually finished the overdub of Poor Man's Gold. 1971. Big day in Elvis history. Elvis and Priscilla attended the JCC's prayer breakfast at the Memphis Holiday Inn, Rivermont. Afterwards, there was a press conference where Elvis responded to the question about the effect of music on today's youth. I don't go along with music advocating drugs and desecration of the flag. I think an entertainer is for entertaining to make people happy. Then, at 5 p.m., Elvis gave a reception at Graceland for the award winners and the JC officials, during which he conducted informal tours of the house. 1 hour later, Elvis and Priscilla hosted a formal dinner for 100 guests at the Four Flames restaurant, where place cards had embossed with TCB logo and signed by the star. So, yeah, this is because of the JC's award in Elvis, one of the 10 outstanding men of 1970. So during the 8 p.m. ceremony at the Ellis Auditorium, Elvis proudly accepted an honour that clearly meant as much to him as any public recognition he had ever received. The trophy he received became one of the most treasured possessions, which he even took with him on his travels. So that's the JC's one. He was one of 10 outstanding men or people of 1970. And that was on this day in 1971. I'm going to do, I won't do tip pick of the week until I've done my song of the week, because, and then I want to tell you, I want to show you about this giveaway. I want to show you this superb, I think it's an absolute superb prize. And it's not going to cost you a penny. I'll show you it this week, and then I'll tell you during the week and then on next Sunday what you need to do to be in with the chance of winning it. My song of the week from Viva Las Vegas is the only song from the recording sessions that was written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller. It was dropped from the movie, and it's always been unclear if there is any footage of the song being performed. It is the wonderful duet with Anne Margaret, You're the Boss. That is my song of the week and my favourite from Viva Las Vegas, even though it wasn't included in the movie. It is my favourite from the recording sessions. The way the two of them perform this is just ultra sensual. There's lots of heavy breathing and sighing going on. It never ceases to remind me of, you know, that song Je T'aime. That one, it reminds me of that. And Elvis and Anne sound like two pussycats rubbing up against each other and purring and so forth. So I'll put a link to it. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I'm sure you know what it sounds like, but I still will put a link in the description box for You're the Boss. So my pick of the week, two pictures. I want to give you, I'm going to give, which one will I do first? I'll do the Viva Las Vegas one first. I mean, there's loads and loads and loads, lots and lots and lots of photographs of Anne and Elvis during the production of Viva Las Vegas. But this one is so subtle, and the way she is looking at him, and just look at what he's doing with his left hand. He's just got it crooked in between one of her fingers there. And it's so subtle, and the way that he is looking at her is just, the way she is looking at him is just, it speaks volumes. And it's just, as I say, it's just so subtle the way he has his finger crooked in between one of her fingers as well. And I don't think you can, I mean, there's plenty of photographs of him hugging and kissing his other co-stars, but I don't think there's any sort of other picture of any other co-star just as subtle as that. And that's my pick of the week from Viva Las Vegas. The other one was supplied by Earl. Thanks, Earl. And I'm going to show you that now. And he said, this would send the girls crazy, and it's definitely a cold shower photograph. Thanks, Earl Walker, for sending that in. Taken during the after show party on August the 10th, 1970, during the making of That's the Way It Is. Love at First Sight. I'm sure they had much in common. Hot Rod Dave. Hi, Dave. Magic Picture. Love at First Sight. Yeah. Yeah, that was this one. Okay. And then the other one that Earl kindly sent in. Thanks, Earl. Chris has said, oh my God. Yeah, and Earl says, pleasure, Steve. Yeah, I mean, if anybody else wants to send in what they consider a great picture of Elvis, a cold shower photograph, anything like that, then just email it to me, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com, or they can send it to me on Messenger, anything like that. Yeah, Chris says, great picture. Whoa, bare chest alert. Yeah. Jill Brett says, I have fainted. Okay, Jill, if you fainted, who is typing? Somebody must have give you smelling salts to bring you around. Now, here it is. This is the giveaway coming up. Sorry, ladies, I'm going to have to just get rid of that picture for a second. This is it. I'm going to show you this, and it doesn't actually... The screen does not do this justice. This is a canvas drawing stroke painting of Elvis from 1970, about the time when they did the family shots of Lisa Marie, Priscilla, and Elvis for her birthday. All right. And it's, as you can see, it's over 2 feet high. It's about 18 inches wide as well, I think. And also, it's got a quote at the bottom. You only pass through this life once. You don't come back for an encore. Okay, so that, as you can see how big it is. All right. So, Carol in Jersey says that canvas is fabulous. Well, I'm looking at the screen now, and it doesn't do, the screen doesn't do it justice. Okay. That was donated to me, donated to the channel by a young lady. She does want to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to say any more. And I will tell you next Sunday how you can apply or enter to win that. Okay. Now, somebody asked earlier on about the Wednesday shows. I'm actually pausing the Wednesday shows for a while because, as I said on Wednesday, with me working full time and trying to do 2 live shows a week, it was very, very difficult. So what I'm doing is we're just pausing the Wednesday shows for a while. We'll always be doing the Sunday shows. Don't worry about that. But it means that it will give me more time to bring you more interviews with people from the Elvis world. I've got to ring somebody during the week to try and set up an interview. So no Wednesday shows, but the interviews are coming back. So let me just show you this one more time. Okay, this is a canvas. Okay, the back of it is... Okay, so it's framed. And as I say, that the camera doesn't do it justice. It's a fabulous, and it's got that quote at the bottom. So, and I will let you know during the week and also next Sunday how you can be in with a chance to win that superb Elvis giveaway. So that's it for another week. As I say, I won't see you Wednesday. It'll be next Sunday. But keep an eye on this channel because I will let you know how to win that giveaway. And we'll be discussing the next movie in the list, Roustabout. So until next Sunday, please do take care. Thanks for all the callers, and thanks for joining me tonight, everybody. And if you want to, you can buy me a coffee using the link below. Take care, everybody.